Welcome to another edition of the R&R Show. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the best little sports show ever. I'm your host, Michael Roope, joined with my co-host, William Rumsey. Hello, William.
Howdy.
All right. Today's topic will be our top 10 sports movies of all time. We've each compiled our list. We have not seen each other's list. Unless William's looking at mine now.
I just did.
Okay, well, please stop. Please stop.
Very exciting. Very exciting.
But no, this should be a great, fun segment, especially with everything going on in the world today. A lot of people aren't able to get out and do things, and if you don't have a chance to go out and do some stuff, please try to pop in one of these suggestions that me and William are going to go over. Now, this first segment, we're going to go over movies 10 through 6 on our list, and then in another segment, we will then reveal, I should say, our top 5. So, without further ado, William, who you got at number 10?
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid. Ironically enough, it did not make my list. So tell me what you.
Not surprising.
Yeah.
I question your taste.
Well, listen, Karate Kid's a great movie. Anybody in the age demographics of what 25 to probably or 30 to 45 maybe.
Well, they've rekindled the flame, I believe, with their YouTube series, which I'm embarrassed to mention I've not.
I am a
yet.
Huge fan. Okay. If you have not checked Cobra Kai out, please do yourself a favor.
I have not. So it was made in 1984. So for me, I was born in 80. This was actually the first sports movie that I became obsessed with. Mm-hmm. My dad took me to the movie, I believe, and I just became a huge Karate Kid. It made me want to get into karate. Never did. Yeah. But it just lit a fire with me.
Who was you more apt to root for in the movie? What, did you want Cobra Kai to kick his ass?
I did not. I was a big Ralph Macchio.
Oh, so now have you ever tried or performed the crane kick on
That's what I was going to, in each one of these, I'm going to tell about the iconic scene. The iconic takeaway. And that would be the crane kick that really,
very nice.
ended Cobra Kai.
So have you ever performed that?
Probably.
Yeah? Yeah? A couple of,
Do we have enough room for me?
Yeah. Well, maybe in another episode. But Karate Kid is definitely, it made my honorable mention. But that's a great movie.
But I think, speaking of Cobra Kai, those guys were some of the best movie villains of all time. Oh,
absolutely. Who didn't, like Johnny?
But it's funny that if you go online, you can actually see folks talking about how Ralph Macchio's character was actually the villain. He was actually the instigator.
And that's funny you mention that because if you have not seen Cobra Kai, that's the twist. They portray Ralph as the villain. The crane kick was an illegal kick. Should have never been allowed.
Oh, wow.
But no, it's a good take. We were actually lucky enough, my wife and I, to meet both of those characters, Ralph and Johnny, at a couple different Comic-Con.
That's cool.
Great guy. We love John. Johnny's great and, awesome. But
that's all I had.
All right. Well, number 10 for me is the Bad News Bears. Bad News Bears. Did that make your top 10?
It did not.
Well, Bad News Bears, if you are
It's not even in my honorable mention.
No? Well, listen. That shows you where this list is going. Bad News Bears, I will tell you, if you played Little League Baseball and you basically watched this movie, who didn't imagine themselves as Kelly riding in on a dirt bike, smoking a heater, jacking bombs? I mean, that was cool. That was cool. I know that, I didn't play baseball through high school, but when I was in Little League and stuff, man, I thought I was Kelly. I thought I was cool.
The funny thing is that in Little League, we all knew a Kelly.
Yeah.
There was always a Kelly around the team.
I think we all knew a Kelly, and boy, that was a great movie, and my eyes, early on in my youth, Bad News Bears definitely stuck out to me, and Actually, I got to meet Kelly too.
Oh man,
which was cool too.
Look at you name dropping.
Yeah. But I didn't put any years to mine, so sorry about that. But go ahead with your number 9.
I will go with Happy Gilmore.
Happy Gilmore. That is on my list a little higher up.
Oh, really?
But
very nice.
Go ahead and
it's not an honorable mention.
Not an honorable mention.
So that was 1996. Came out. That was the height of Adam Sandler's reign.
Absolutely.
The Sandman
Absolutely.
was at, and I was a 16-year-old boy, so Adam Sandler,
he was a god. Yeah.
He was up here for me. I mean, the first time I remember seeing Billy Madison, and then he put Happy Gilmore. I was
and then he spun off into the Happy Madison production company because there's two heavyweight movies. Absolutely tons of one-liners from that movie.
And then the iconic moment that I have is when he and Bob Barker did the fist fight on the course.
Absolutely. That's definite. Now I have
I don't
not
know what
met
I just
him.
did with my hands there.
I don't know what you were. I thought you were going into the Karate Kid mode, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
But no, Happy Gilmore is, and I'll go over when he gets up to my list.
Like you said, it had so many one-liners that you can quote.
Phenomenal. I don't think anybody that was my age that didn't absolutely just love Happy Gilmore.
Yep.
We quoted it all the time, all day, and
Chubbs.
Yep. Even on the golf course as an adult, we're still quoting Happy Gilmore.
We are.
Are you too good for your hole? I mean, it's some great stuff. Number 9, I had Rudy.
Very nice.
Did it make your list?
It did not.
Wow. All right. So Rudy, let me tell you a little about Rudy. I mean, bottom line, if you're a Notre Dame fan or live in the state of Indiana, who didn't basically root for this underdog? And really, I mean, at the end of the movie, if you're not chanting Rudy, Rudy, I mean, you're sick. You have a soulless soul. But you have to, if you live in Indiana or a Notre Dame fan, Rudy has to be on the list. So I'm just thinking you're not a Notre Dame fan.
Well, I am, but
here's how I even make your honorable mention.
It probably made my honorable mention.
Oh, probably.
It did,
okay.
But it's just
don't
one
you
of those
root for the underdog?
These movies that I'm going through are like, okay, if this movie is on, I'm flipping through the channels and it lands on this movie, and am I staying till the very end?
Are you not staying to watch Rudy get his day in the sun? You're sick. I knew it. You're sick. He might be on our next Get Him Out of Here segment.
I knew this list was going to create some consternation.
All right. Give me your number 8.
Number 8, I have Any Given Sunday.
Not on my list.
Oh, wow.
Tell me what you love about it, William.
So 1999 it came out. What's funny about this one, when I first initially went to the theaters and watched it, I was not impressed for some reason. I was 19 years old, so I don't know if it had anything to do with it, but I just wasn't impressed. But over the years, coming back to that movie, rewatching it, it has a lot of great stuff in it.
It does.
And I would say the most iconic moment in that is Al Pacino's speech.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Before the big playoff game.
Now, it's been a while since I've seen
it. Do we want to pull it
up? Let me ask you this. When's the last time you've watched that?
Probably, I'd say last year sometime.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh,
yeah.
Well, hey, listen, unfortunately, I have not seen it in a while.
Oh.
I don't even think it's on my honorable mention.
Well.
But, hey, everybody has different thoughts. What's yours? We'd love to hear from you when we get this posted. We're going to try to see what we can do to get a poll on these boards here. So, number 8, again, following up with the Rudy, we're going with another underdog story. And again, if you live in the state of Indiana, or more importantly, in this area, and this isn't on your list, shame on you. What other than the movie Hoosiers?
Oh. That is on my list.
Oh, well, good. Well, listen, Hoosiers, another underdog story, David against Goliath. Most of us in this area probably have some relatives or know people that are in Milan and live in Milan, and they always, even growing up, they rallied around that 1954 state champs water tower.
Yep.
I mean, boy, it's... who doesn't, basically, as a youngster after watching that movie, who didn't try the underhand free throw?
Right.
I mean, I know you're out there.
Ollie?
Yeah.
Ollie?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I grew up two miles down the road in Moores Hill.
Yep.
And Hoosiers was just a big part of my childhood.
Yeah.
Growing up, I was basketball was probably, I'd say, growing up, my favorite sport. Basketball and baseball ran pretty similar, but... funny story, I actually got to speak to Bobby Plump.
Oh, very nice. Name drop.
I did,
yes.
yes.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, I have not met Bobby.
Yeah, I told him I was from Moores Hill, and we kind of bonded over that.
Yeah.
And,
Did he ask if you have game?
I may have told him.
What? Did you instantly break out the crane kick on Bobby? I don't know.
No, it was over the phone.
Okay,
but,
all right.
Yeah.
Well, very, very cool. So what? Let's move on to number 7. What do you got for 7?
Number 7, I have Rocky 4.
Rocky 4, very nice. Is
that on your list?
No, Rocky 4,
What?
Unfortunately, no, Rocky 4, yes. No, Rocky 4 is on my list. Sorry.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, so that's the Ivan Drago, Rocky.
It is. And for me, I mean, it was a toss-up because I was only going to put one Rocky on the list.
Okay.
So,
yeah,
and I'll go in a little bit more in depth.
Sure.
So
I went with Rocky 4 just because I believed Ivan Drago's character just brought that movie to a different level.
It did.
You know?
Yes.
I would say the most iconic scene of that movie was the "I Must Break You." I mean, there's a lot of scenes that you could get, but that is the one that sticks. "I Must Break You."
Yes.
That was. It still gives me goosebumps.
Well, I believe if you were watching that movie and you weren't chanting USA at the end of that thing and having cold chills, I mean, because the funny thing about Sly when he started those movies is you didn't know what was going to happen. I mean, he pulled the rug out from under us in the first one with Apollo winning. So then at that point, he set the tone.
For sure.
Well, we don't know what the hell's going to happen. Who's going to win what? And Clubber Lang wins one, and then he comes back. So Sly had set the stage for well, we just don't know what's going to happen, and that made that one that much more exciting.
Yeah, I loved just the contrast of the two characters. Not Apollo. Apollo was at the beginning of the movie, but when Sly went to Russia, he grew the beard.
Oh yeah.
His training facilities. I think he was in a damn barn.
Yep. I think he was doing his Corona training.
Yeah. He was in a barn. I think he was pushing a wagon or doing pull-ups, doing sit-ups, just very rudimentary style training. And then contrast that with Ivan Drago, had all state-of-the-art equipment. He was pumping steroids, and I liked how they contrasted the two sides of that.
It was definitely I got to admit, if you are our age and a Rocky movie is on a Saturday afternoon and you go by, you're stopping.
Oh, for sure.
You're going to stop and watch it.
Most
I mean, there isn't a man alive that doesn't want to catch the ending of a Rocky movie. So
and just the music.
You
think of the Rocky music. You got Eye of the Tiger.
God,
I mean,
I'm ready to run through a wall now.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Crank can, run through a wall.
Well, hey, listen. Number 7 on my list is a little ode to this shirt. Somebody that's meant a lot to my life, and that is one Bull Hurley and Lincoln Hawk.
Yes.
I mean, again, age demographics. If you were, anywhere from age, 30 to 45, and you didn't have a ball cap on, and you did this like a switch. I mean, you're probably at home doing it now if you have a ball cap on. It's like a switch.
That's it.
Yeah, it was, literally. Who didn't put on a hat that said it's like a switch? I almost, even put it today's, I wonder if Ken Griffey Jr., he wore his hat. Was it like a switch from him? You don't know. Did Lincoln
Let's
Hawk?
get him on.
Lincoln Hawk, did he inspire Ken Griffey Jr.?
Yeah. That's a great question.
Yeah,
That's a great question.
Listen, and for as a young kid, as after watching that movie, boy, always wanted to arm wrestle.
Yeah,
I wanted to arm wrestle all this.
Are we?
Yeah. Well, listen, these forearms, that inspired me. I was always like, oh my goodness, let's get. Let me show my inner Lincoln Hawk. But no, great movie.
Agreed.
Loved the movie. Always, whenever I get a chance, I watch that too.
When we were doing our lists, I didn't even think Over the Top, to be honest with you. But I did love it. I've seen that movie so many times.
Yep.
Love that movie. Great choice.
Yep, that's more of an obscure. You don't think of it as a sports, but arm wrestling is a sport.
Most certainly. Certainly.
So what you got for 6?
We're going back to Hoosiers.
Okay, very nice. Hey, listen, it had to be on your list.
Yeah, so Gene Hackman and Dennis Hopper in that movie, I believe, is the height of acting.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Just phenomenal performances. Now, to talk about the iconic moment in the movie Hoosiers, I mean, again, there are so many to choose from. I went with, what always sticks in my mind is when he took those boys up to play in that state title game. He took them into the court and had them measure
it, yep.
measure the goal, measure
yep.
the free throw line, just to show those boys that no matter how big that stadium was, everything on the court was the same size.
Now, on a side note, have you ever been to Hinkle Fieldhouse?
I have.
Yes.
I have.
Does it give you the chills?
It did. I watched, kind of funny, I went there, I think it was in the early to mid-2000s to watch the college slam dunk contest.
Oh, wow, they held it
so,
there. Very cool.
You know, you go from Milan Hoosiers to the college, the difference in athleticism was just a little bit.
Just a little bit. So
I remember, actually, James White, I believe, wasn't he a kid from UC?
Yeah.
He dunked one from the free throw line, one of the best dunks I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Very nice, very nice. My number 6, again, coming off of what you said, I actually put down Rocky 3, 4. I put them maybe that's illegal. Is that illegal?
That's cheating.
But so if I was going to pick one, I would have picked Rocky 4. But Rocky 3, equally as great. Side note, my second son, Kingston Roope, a.k.a. we call him King, he almost was named Clubber. Because, quite frankly, I like the name Clubber. Clubber Lang just, invoked fear into people. All he wanted was pain. And boy, he could have been a Clubber Roope.
Yeah. I like Kingston.
Yeah, I do. King Roope is much better.
Clubber would be cool,
but yes, but that movie, but I ultimately ended up going with Rocky 4. Like you said, a ton of iconic lines. I must break you. If he dies, he dies.
Oh, that's great.
He's like a piece of metal. I mean, all those exciting, and nothing made me more excited than at the beginning with James Brown breaking it down, Apollo Creed, I want you. I mean,
living in America.
Oh my gosh, I get cold chills just thinking about it.
I think we'll go watch that movie and come back. And do
Well, listen, that is our 6 through 10. So, stay tuned. We'll be back after a quick break to give you our 1 through 5. So stay tuned. Thanks, guys.